Hi everyone, it's Car Examiner here, and today I'm testing Audi A3 59 plate 1.9 litre turbo diesel TDI, right? So what's going on over here with this one here? What's going on here, right? It's a basics of the trim with leather steering wheel. It's done 106,000 miles. So what we found so far, the why you need to get an inspection, right, is because you will get like pre-service check or pre-MOT check. Let's put it this way: you will know the car. As you don't know the vehicle, you will have all the information you need about the vehicle, what you're potentially gonna buy. Right, so you will know inside and outside of the vehicle. If you go for the premium inspection, you will know everything about the paintwork, on which sides it's been painted, where was the where they actually put any plaster on, and respray the panel. So you will know that. So that means it would be, it's like you own that car for quite some time, you know. So that means you have your own history, you've invested a bit of money, and you know what it is. So this is what you're getting, and therefore you're also getting the information about any potential issues, short-term, long-term, and we're checking the service history, what's been done. So all those issues and the keys, and if they're walking the doors, obviously depends what type of inspection you choose, right? So all those all this valuable information what we can provide you opens a massive door when you're negotiating on a price, right? So obviously it depends on what price range is the vehicle, and how, and what sort of condition is the car, right? If the car is in perfect condition and the mileage is low and the price is right, and so on, and there's a little things wrong with the car, highly unlikely you will go down too much. But you invested the money and you know the car is in a good condition, right? So, and you had your portfolio about a vehicle, because you never owned the vehicle, you never maybe driven it, right? And it may be first time you will driven it, or you've driven it for a little bit around the corner, right? And if you're not a car guru, if you're not a car genius, for you it's kind of it's different ball game. You are outside your comfort zone, right? And we will help you to put this right for you. So now I'm going for the road test on this Audi A3, and I will try to see what's going on with this car. So far what I found, it had decent service history on it. It is from the vendor, so they're selling the car. I'm not sure about the price yet. What I can feel, it's a bit high, clutch biting point. The front pad's extremely low. Discs recommended to be replaced. They had little, surprisingly didn't have any engine faults in the system, right? That's a surprise. Normally when you scan the car, there's historical faults always in there. And what we do, before we go for the road test, we read the faults, we overlook on those faults. We don't really pay too much attention what's been there, right? Because they could be there before. So we look at the fault codes and see, are they historical, are they pending, are they sporadic, are they current fault codes, or are they permanent, you know? Then we clear those faults, then we're going for the road test, right? And so the road test, what we try to do is the key. What's going on with the car, right? So we can make sense. Driving left and right, going through the potholes, feel the suspension, feel the gear selection, on automatic gearboxes, how the car is selecting the gears down, upshifting, downshifting, how the kick down is working, right? And I want you to take for 50-minute road test, and you try to put the car in different loads. You load it up differently. Why this is important? Because if there is any fault codes, not the fault codes, if there is any sporadic faults, which are quite hard on a normal driving condition to actually trigger, right? And those fault codes normally will come on under hard, on a much harder driving conditions as you would normally do. If you would drive it normally, they would normally come on after a driving cycle. What is driving cycle? Driving cycle is when you clear the faults, the car ECU. Let's say, for instance, let's talk about just engine management system. It goes through the cycle, so it checks all the parameters, if they are actually matching all the signals, inputs and outputs, and what's being programmed in ECU, if they are correct. So we're flooring down now a bit and looking for some potential smoke. As we can see on this, a bit of blue smoke coming out. So this is how we can find out, are they any engine condition issues, right? Sometimes you could have a DPF issue which is regenerating, and then obviously to sum up that and to find out if it's not that, particularly you can hear a kind of distinctive smell, right? And you can see that, and obviously if it's an oil, right, the oil will have a very distinctive smell, and obviously on a road test also you can feel the wheel bearings, you can feel the suspension knocking. This is vital, you know. So that's why the people think we don't use car ramp, we don't need a ramp. Yeah, you don't need a ramp. What are you gonna lift up and see? Yeah, you need a road test, right? Road test is the killer, right? You test the car, right? You feel the car as you test your girlfriend, right? Or you test your husband, or you test your boyfriend, or you talk to your kids. You're finding out the information, right? And so this is the way we finding out information about the vehicle, right? And then once we know what the vehicle gave us back and the way we felt the car, then we actually going under the car, right? And then we checking, you know, because suspension on an older car, right? You might not have knocking noises. You will have a fair suspension arms, fair wear and tear. You know, it's something what you can't avoid. You know, at some point you will have to replace them. You know, and for that reason you can't really too much negotiate on the price because of the fair wear and tear on those things. You know, like track rod links normally would be on a fair wear and tear. They just sort of really kind of loose, and at some point they will start making sort of quite weird rattle noise, and you would think, what's going on, my car gonna actually fall apart, but actually there's just the two kind of anti-roll bar links which are that sort of long, which are gonna cause sort of such a huge rattle. You would think, what the heck is going on with my car, you know? But that's actually, it's just such a silly little things it costs to replace. replaced probably both of them for £60, you know, and it's not a big deal. Yeah, this car has some smoke issue, this is what we can find with the car. The gear is selecting fine. Clutch binding point is slight, like I mentioned, is a bit too high. Not too high, but I mean it's high, and it's not slipping yet. I checked that. Handbrake travel is too high. They passed MOT. I mean 2018 on MOT. I forgot a month. They actually advised it, I think, or Matt failed it. I forgot. But now it's again the same problem, you know. I'm just thinking, really, you just done it recently and the same thing. It just sometimes feels like they just they got friends with MOT stations and they don't do things properly. That's the way I feel occasionally when I see some of the few cars, you know. So this car doesn't have road tax, so we got trade plates as well. So most of the competitors, they don't have it, right? And but we try to use them in some instances. Not every inspector will have them at some point, but we will try to get at. But sometimes it restricts that road test, but road test is vital. You know, this is what we do. So we check the horn is working, right? And so I've got 2 minutes left on my road test. I need to get back. And continue. So after the road test, what I'm gonna do, as I found out what I need to find out, I'm happy with the suspension. It's not rattling. For the age and the mileage, it's I would say for the age and the mileage, it's in a good condition. The suspension, the way it feels. We will go under the car and we will find out if there is any other issues wrong visually, if something being routed incorrectly or something might be loose. We'll have a look on a corrosion. Any undershields, if any undershields are loose or missing. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and yeah, we'll report that. This is a car pad. Yeah, see, it's car pad. As Apple don't pay for ads, so it's a car pad. Car examiner pad, and yeah, this is how we test the car. I hope you get some valuable information why the inspection is important, even if you was thinking about why would you inspect the car. It's just to sum up why. It's because it will give you the valuable information, as you would had this car for some time, that you would know in and out about the car, what you might do or will need to do at some point in the future. Yeah, and that will help you to understand your car more before you buy, and it will give you valuable information in the power. So it means when you go to the car, at least you have a good portfolio, a good information with all the information you need, which will give you a good solid case to talk about the facts when you go to the figures, right? You know, and when the seller would find out certain issues, they might be even willing to fix those things before they actually will give you the car. So you will have you will be more empowering them, instead of going there as a kind of a little consumer, a little victim,